Can we talk about President Obama? Yes. You said you personally get along with him. You guys were going at each other for 3 or 4, maybe 8 years. It turns out his organization seems to be doing a lot of the organizing to some of the protests that a lot of these Republicans are seeing around the country and against you. Right. Do you believe President Obama is behind it? And if he is that a violation of the so-called unsaid President's Code?
No, I think he is behind it. I also think it's politics. That's the way it is. And look, I have a very different agenda.
But Bush wasn't going after Clinton. Clinton wasn't going after Bush.
Well, you never know what's exactly happening behind the scenes. You know, you're probably right or possibly right, but you never know. No, I think that President Obama is behind it because his people are certainly behind it. And some of the leaks possibly come from that group. You know, some of the leaks, which are really very serious leaks because they're very bad in terms of national security. But I also understand that's politics. And in terms of him being behind things, that's politics. And it will probably continue.
Interesting to hear President Trump basically blaming kind of Obama holdovers for some leaks, which, you know, have come. I guess he's talking about leaks which aren't coming from the White House, which there are some of the.
Yeah, I mean, the hidden hand of Obama. And I imagine we'll hear this theory for a while in terms of blaming leaks out of the intelligence community. I mean, in some ways, it borders on paranoia.
Yeah, he was sort of pushed into agreeing with the idea that Obama was behind the protests, which I haven't really seen much evidence of that. On the leaks and intelligence, if you read the stories carefully, there's no doubt that a lot of the sourcing on some of the more blockbuster stories do say, according to current and former administration officials. So just reading between the lines, there's no doubt that some of that information is coming from officials of the previous administration, which is exactly what you would assume, because those are the people who knew about
whether the idea of President Obama pulling the strings, that's unclear, but people
I doubt
really
very much.
Although,
you know, the former CIA director, Brennan, was on TV on Sunday, and people have accused him of similarly leaking, and he said he has not had any conversations with any reporters about this. But there's no doubt that there are current and former administration officials in the intelligence community that are talking to reporters.